Hey guys, Gamma here again. I know in the previous video I said that this would be all one video and it would be a slight break in between, but welcome to part 2. I made the realization that while migrating to solid-state drives a couple months ago that I never actually reinstalled my editing software. So due to the fact that I have hot ramen sitting next to me and I want to eat it, I'm just going to get this video underway by uploading a second part. Here's the ship we built in part 1. I've intentionally omitted a couple things, hoping that it might actually explode so that people that haven't seen the game can understand the hilarity that ensues when you first start learning to design rockets. But I'm also pretty proficient at the game, so it's entirely possible that that won't happen. Well, without any other delay, we'll go ahead and load the rocket up and see if we can't do anything fancy. I immediately notice that EVA and IVA buttons are still there. We have Jebart Kerbin, or Kerman. Maybe Jebediah is only for the full version. I want to make note to definitely try the EVA button while on the surface of the moon to see if it works. I'd imagine that'd be something they'd want to have as only the full feature. Crap. I was going to add boosters and I didn't. Sorry, this thing should be plenty quick. So we'll fire it up. Ooh, that's loud. Hopefully y'all can still hear me over this. It's really loud in my ears, but I also understand that my volume is actually quite low compared to whatever you hear on YouTube. So I will let my ears bleed for your benefit. Just taking off here and ascending our way into orbit. For seasoned players, this won't be very exciting at all, because it's a pretty standard and monotonous thing to do nowadays. But for the beginners, I want to leave it in there. I want the core real gameplay experience to be right there in your face. I'm also recording this live. Scott Manley and who else was it? Kurt J. Mack, the two that basically got me into this game after seeing them on YouTube. They used to do this style of play and narrate while they play, and I guess as they became more popular or more proficient, they got bored of that. So they play and then they do a voiceover after the fact, which stops them from being able to do interesting things. Like if I wanted to pause the game and talk about something, I could do that. They'd have to do some editing and all that mumbo jumbo, and that's just never fun. So I saw, there it is, the moon, and I've got a little bit of time here so I can actually put my rocket a little bit where I want to go and check out the system. Kerbin looks the same to me as it does in point 1.8.2. The moon's the same distance away, and there is no other system. We have Kerbin orbiting the sun. That's so strange playing with this kind of interface. I'm so used to seeing the all the other planets and the other moon that orbits Kerbin. So I may have needed those boosters. We'll see here. We're gonna separate these tanks. And things are blowing up, but I don't think it's part of my ship. Ooh, and I just realized this engine is not running. That was dumb on my part. Let's turn that on. Cool. Now we have more thrust. Why this thing was so hard to steer. Speaking of Kurt J. Mack and Scott Manley, I gotta say, I gotta give them credit equally for getting me into this game, because I do believe I discovered one of Kurt J. Mack's videos first, well before 0.17 came out, and the hilarity of his attitude and his approach to the game really piqued my interest. And then I discovered Scott Manley and the fact that he would give all of this data and information and references to real-world physics and other scenarios. Just made the game that much more enthralling to me, and I aspire to teach others in the same kind of way that they did respectively, or without getting too serious like Scott does, but also going a bit more in-depth than Kurt does. I like to think I'm a pretty proficient player, and I know certainly when I first discovered the game what looked cool to me was landing on the moon, and it looked so easy. And after trying it for myself, I was very, very frustrated. It took me forever to learn how to land on the moon. I gotta say, it's probably one of the most satisfying gaming moments I've ever had, period. And I want to hope to inspire that with a new version of the demo here to other users. So I'm going to do this exactly the way I do it now, routine, which for me isn't that big of a deal, but for someone who's new and just trying to learn the game, this will be, I'll make it look easy, but I guarantee you it will be a challenge. So I'm just going to burn to a slightly higher orbit so that I may use a higher version of Time Warp. Let's see, do we have the targeting system? We have the targeting system. Oh man, you guys have it easy. Back in 0.13 or 1.4, whenever I started playing, we didn't have any of this. We had to do it by eyeball. And that's how I'm going to do it, by eyeball, because I don't need a targeting system. So we're just going to coast up here into space. Something with the text is that's new and looks strange. It looks like a Jumbotron scoreboard kind of thing, all pixelated. I don't know if I like that. I'll get up here and put ourselves into an orbit. I did burn a little late. Hopefully this rocket has enough fuel. Oh, plenty of fuel. Maybe I'll do all of my moon insertion burn with this amount of fuel. So what am I at? Like 150 by 150. 51 by 153. That's a circular enough orbit for me. I think the space station's something like 400 by 360 miles or something like that. Feel free, whoever actually cares, to correct me. But yeah, you'll never get a perfectly circular orbit due to the way the game, what's the word for it? Crap. The way it labels your Apple apps and Pair apps, it's basically next to impossible to have matching. I don't think the game would know what to do. It'd probably give you a nan error. Alright, I'm just lining myself up to burn for the moon here. Let's see, physical time warp. Still get a warning for it. And it still works, that's cool. Oop, I'm spinning the ship the wrong way, but that's fine. Oh, let's do this not in map mode so you can see the cool look of the game. If I have the fuel, I'm going to come back and do an orbit over the planet so you can see what it looks like, because this bores me now, but I understand, again, to new users this probably looks pretty neat. But we'll go ahead and fire up our engines and turn off time acceleration. Actually, you know what? We'll leave time warp on, and we'll see if we can't get to the moon on this amount of fuel. Oh yeah, it's going to be no problem. I should be demoing the maneuver nodes, and I think I will when I go for my return to the moon. But as for the approach, I don't want to use maneuver nodes because it's pretty simple. That looks good enough for me. It's not giving me a periapse, so I'm guessing I will be impacting the moon from this trajectory. Moon, mun, min, whatever it's called. Let's go ahead and time warp away from the planet, watch it fall away. It's all so pretty. So I'm going to swing around and come around behind it, which, if I'm not mistaken, should put me near the light side, hopefully, because landing on the dark side sucks. Crap. Looks like we're going towards the dark side. That's fine, nothing a little extra burn can't fix. Which way do I need to go? I need to go this way. Alright, so we'll come 36,000 meters from the surface, zoom by, slow ourselves down into an orbit, and we'll land near that crater or something, perhaps, maybe. Who knows and who cares? So slowing ourselves down. Get ourselves in a nice little orbit. Never mind the orbit, we're going right for a landing trajectory. Where do I want to land? I want to land in this general area. That looks good. Lots of craters and other dangerous things to fall into. And this way I don't leave any debris in space, which is always a good thing. I'm going to cancel out my lateral momentum. Whoa! Time acceleration is pretty quick for that. I get myself going straight up and down. It's in these final stages of landing where a lot of you, and when I say you, I'm presuming that a lot of people that are going to be watching this are going to be new to the game, which obviously isn't going to happen because I'm not popular at all. But, sorry, I sidetracked. A lot of you, presuming new people watch this, will find it really difficult to cancel out this lateral momentum, and you'll be moving sideways rather quickly, and you'll find that your ships will topple over, and all other kinds of fun, scary things will happen. You'll be using RCS, or at least you'll want to use RCS. That's what I did for my first probably 10 or 15 moon landings until I became competent enough to do so without. And that's just a matter of learning the controls and having faith in your ability to pilot the ship, which I certainly didn't do for quite a while. It's coming in on the last 10 kilometers. This number, unless they have changed it, does not indicate when I will touch the ground. It indicates sea level, or what is presumed as a set 0 somewhere across the surface. On most of the bodies, it is the lowest point. Not many points get lower than sea level in Kerbal Space Program yet. I presume they'll fix that at some point. But basically 0 means you're on one of the lowest points of the body. Crap, I can almost land with this fuel. Should I try? Nah, I have lander legs. I want to use those. I didn't have those in the demo when I played it. You guys got it way easy. And I say easy, but it's funny because a lot of people who see this, or anyone that does see this and goes and tries the demo, it says you'll spend several, probably 10 to 15, maybe even more hours playing this game before you land on the moon. Unless by some chance you're just somehow amazingly good at rocket science. So yep, just gonna separate that and turn that engine on. Deploy those landing legs. Where did that other rocket stage go? Oh, I heard it explode. There it was. Boom. That's a pretty good gauge of how far away we are. Coming in at 8 meters a second. Just for sake of showing a lot of people off what it'll be like when you come in. When you come in to land, it'll probably be, you'll have some lateral momentum, probably like this. And this will be scary. You'll be like, whoa, I'm gonna crash, I don't want to land, and the only way that you'll be able to take care of that and learn how to combat it is experience. The more you do it, the easier it'll get. I forgot a ladder. Let's see if EVA works. EVA does work. Cool. We didn't have this until I had been playing for about 6 months. That's fantastic. You can get out, you can take cool screenshots and pictures. Where's Kerbal? Can't see it. Must be on the dark side. But yeah, so there it is. There's your moon landing. We'll go ahead and see if we can't get back to Kerbin. Check the map out real quick. Put ourselves into an orbit around the moon. I want to head towards 270. Fold those landing legs up. Make sure I'm not heading towards any kind of mountains. Sweet. Let this get to about 15,000 should be right. So now I'm going to demonstrate the maneuver node system in an attempt to show you how cool it is. Lets you predict where... Whoop. Crap. I broke it. I'm so good at this game. It's amazing. Alright. Yeah, it lets you predict where you're going, which is pretty cool. especially when you have the full version of the game, which you should go buy because insert advertisement here. It makes it a lot easier to figure out where you're going and how to get to other planets and such. In this case, I'm going to use it to try to pinpoint exactly when I need to burn and how much to get back to Kerbin. Rather, I'm going to try to do an aerobrake, return to that orbit, and then do my darndest to land back at the Space Center, or at least near the Space Center. And I'm going to fail. And that's a given, so don't hold your hopes too high. But right now, I'm just going to put myself into a lunar orbit. Good enough. Now, the moon goes this way, and I'm going this way. So if I burned here, I think, perhaps... Ah, no. I burn here. That's better. So we're just going to try to get ourselves on an aerobrake approach. Which, if I remember right, about 35,000 is a pretty good, 35,000, is that what I said? $35,792, that'll be good enough. That's a good altitude to brake at, if I remember correctly, which I might not. I might get there and not have enough fuel to put myself back into an orbit, or fall straight to the planet. So this node, though, man, I'm sidetracked. Sorry, guys. It's like 5 a.m. I just got off work. The blue node is this maneuver node. It always points... Your ship is always aligned with the maneuver node. If I did my burn now, it would take me more fuel, more delta V, but I would achieve the same target orbit. You see, my estimated burn is 18 seconds, and my node is coming up in just under a minute. So I'm going to burn 9 seconds before I get there, so that I'm also burning 9 seconds afterwards, so that the middle of it lines up and everything is fancy. That matters more for really, really long burns, like interplanetary. Not so much for the Kerbin or Moon Kerbin return transfer. Not that big of a deal. So there we go, we're 8 seconds away. I'm going to fire up my engines. I'm in docking mode. It's interesting. Why is docking mode in the... Interesting. It's in the demo, but there's no docking parts. So we're just doing that burn. I'm going to watch this number, make sure it comes down. What did I say, 35? Oop, that's 32. Let's go back the other way for a second. That should be good. Delete that maneuver node. And we'll watch the moon fall away. Sunset. And Kerbin rise should be any second now. Where's Kerbin? I think I'd see it. It'd be the big planet that I'm flying towards. Oh, there it is. We fall into our trajectory. It's always cool watching this happen. And we're in the atmosphere. I'm going to time accelerate. There's a pretty cool island there. I won't say whether or not it has anything fancy on it. You new players will just have to figure that out for yourselves. Looks like this aerobrake's can actually turn out pretty well. I'm going to help it along with some thrust here. Just gonna make sure I leave myself enough fuel to return. or deorbit the craft. Try to bring this into about 120. That's good enough. Gotta get back out of the atmosphere. Ooh. Crap. I did some math wrong on my head while trying to expedite things. And we still might make it back out. There's that island I was talking about. It's pretty neat. You should go visit it. Let's just do this right quick. I still have plenty of fuel. Come on, out of the atmosphere. Then I get the music back, and I can do cool things. Sweet, music's back. Alright, try to get ourselves back into this orbit here. $146 by 157, good enough for me. I should have enough fuel left to deorbit. So we'll watch from this angle for a few orbits. Ooh, was that cloud? No, it wasn't clouds. They're working on that though. I'm waiting for the planet to rotate to a point where it makes sense for me to try to land on the day side and somewhere near where I took off from, which is, I'm guessing, right here, because the debris is at the launch pad. We're also misaligned, which will matter a little bit. I'll try to do a correction burn when while I'm deorbiting. At the least, I'd like to come down overhead and see it while I'm landing. That'd be neat. Thinking 1 or 2 more orbits, and it'll be enough on the light side where I can justify trying to land there. That does look really cool though. Especially when you get eclipses with other planets and moons. There's the moon. Moon should eclipse the sun. I ran out of camera. Alright, so Kerbal Space Center is definitely in the what's the word for it? Daylight side? On the day side of the Terminator, I believe is what it's called. And I'm just trying to use the maneuver system to predict. So the planet is rotating from left to right, as well as I'm traveling left to right. And when I hit the atmosphere, I'm going to slow down. So this looks like a pretty big miss, but I do believe that'll get me kinda at least ballpark in the right trajectory. Oh, and as for aligning my yeah, we'll call that good. Why not? This isn't gonna work. I knew it wouldn't. But that should at least put me overhead. I should be able to see the launch pad as I come in. With a 6-second burn, I might actually be able to try a powered landing. That'd be neat. Yeah, gotta line this up. Close enough. Bring her in. It gives you an idea of how the atmosphere really changes. At 35 I did an aerobrake and didn't have enough fuel, but I'm pretty sure at 30, or maybe not, I'm not going to have nearly enough momentum to carry on and go beyond the planet. Whoops. Yeah, I definitely miscalculated. Oh well. Let's go for a powered landing over land then, because that looks cooler. Yeah, the ship is going to have the Delta V for it. So we'll land in this little gulf here off the coast of... I guess I could look kind of like the United States or the or North America, over South North America a little bit, with Texas jutting out the side there. I don't know. I've always thought that the Kerbal's home country looked a bit like Africa, but yeah, we'll see where this takes us. Coming into land, some cool little islands and such off the coast of this place, I guess. Pulling some relatively decent G-forces while decelerating. Can increase that even more by using thrust. Pretty cool. Now we'll say goodbye to that stage, because we don't need it no more. And around 5,000 I will deploy the parachute. Now this will hit 0 when I land because I'm landing in water and that's the sea level. And just open up parachute, goes into drogue mode. Oh, so fancy. Slowing ourselves back down. Man, this took a lot longer than I had anticipated. I made my mission way more complicated than it had to be. But, yeah, I mean, this is the demo. The full version of the game has so much more to do. And, there's an update coming in the next, I guess, couple months, or within a month, I think. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But there's definitely an update coming in the works, which is going to add even more functionality, and I bet the price will go up. So for 23 bucks now, it's a great buy. You'll definitely get your money's worth out of this game if you're interested, which I hope you are if you've been watching the video for this long. Let's get ourselves a touchdown here. Splash. Touchdown. 23 hours, 53 minutes. Cool. So yeah, this is Gamma. This has been the demo of Kerbal Space Program 0.18.3. Get it while it's hot. KerbalSpaceProgram.com, and thanks for watching.